Hello, grade 1. Today's lesson is about details. Okay? Details are is something that writers use to describe someone or something. Okay? So, people who like to write or authors, they usually use details to describe people, places, or things, okay? And they also use details to describe events when they write a story, okay? Why do they use details? Because details can help the person who is reading paint a picture, okay? What does that mean? So, like, when the writer uses details, it helps the reader imagine what the character would look like, imagine what happened in the story. So writers or authors like to use detail to help them to help readers understand and imagine what the story would be like. Okay, so like for example, if I say the girl has hair. Okay, so here the girl has hair, but if I say the girl has long and wavy hair. Okay, so here I'm just saying that the girl has hair, but when I say the girl has long and wavy hair. The long and wavy helps are details that tell you more about what the girl's hair looked like. Okay? If I say the bug or I see, let's say I see a bug. But okay, or I can say I see a bug, or I see a small red bug with black spots. Okay, so here I said I just mentioned that I see a bug, but if I say I see a small red bug with black spots, okay, so I'm using details so the person can imagine what the bug would look like. Okay, so here we know that when you think about bugs, it can be a cockroach, it can be a fly, it can be a bee, it can be a spider. But when I say I see a small red bug with black spots, so it helps the reader to imagine or to understand what the bug looks like or what bug it can be. All right, so again, details. Writers use details to help the readers picture what the writer wants to say. So let's start reading in our book and see why we use details. Good writers use details to tell about people, places, things, or events. All right? So writers, they use details to tell or describe about people, places, things, or events. Events are things that happen in the story. Okay? Details help describe what someone or something is like. Okay? So if I say the girl has long wavy hair, I'm describing what her hair looks like. If I say the bug is small and red with black spots, I'm describing the bug. Okay? So when the reader reads, he or she can help paint a picture in their mind. He can imagine or start thinking what the person or the character sees in the story. Okay? So here we'll be reading a letter or a piece of writing done by a person named Nan. Nan did this writing, okay? And she wrote a letter. She wrote a letter to her friend Seth, okay? So she starts the letter with a greeting. When you start a letter, you start it with the word dear. Okay, and you write the person name that you're sending it to. So, dear Seth, we went to a pond. We sat on a long dock. I got a fish. Your pal Nan. Okay, so Nan is telling her friend about where she went and what she did. Okay, so she's telling her friend Seth that her and her family or her friends went to a pond. Okay, what did they do at the pond? They sat on a long dock. A long dock is like a long path or a long board where people can walk on or sit on in front of the lake, because some people like to fish. So as you see here, Nan and her family, they sat on the dock, and as you can see from the picture that they went fishing. So what did Nan use to describe the dock? She said she used details. She said that we sat on a long dock and she got a fish. She was excited that she got a fish. And she finished her letter with a nice ending saying, your pal or your friend, Nan. Okay? So when you start a letter, you start it with a greeting, like dear, and then you write the person's name. You write the sentences that you want with details to help the reader understand more about what you're describing. And then you end it with something nice like your friend, your pal, love. Okay, we'll learn about this later on. So, again, why do we use details? To help the reader understand or paint a picture of what the writer wants to say or describe. Okay, so here we'll be reading 2 sentences and we will be circling the sentence that gives you detail. Okay? Number 1, we go to a spot. Okay? We go to a spot. Here the word spot means means a place. Okay? We go to a spot. Okay? We go to a place. We go to a farm. Which one here gives you more detail? We go to a farm. Why? Because number 1 says we go to a spot. Means we went to a place. Did it tell you what place did it went to? No. But here it says we go to a farm. It tells you what is the place, that they went to a farm. And as you see here from the picture, that they're playing with animals. Okay, so we would circle sentence number 2. We go to a farm, because farm has more detail, because we all know that farm is a place that has animals. All right, sentence number 2. We see hens and chicks. We see hens and chicks. Okay, the second sentence, we see animals. Which sentence gives you more detail? I would say sentence number 1. Why? Because it tells you what animals they saw. They saw hen and chicks. But the second sentence says we saw animals. Did it say what kind of animals? No. The first sentence says that it gives you the detail of the kind. So we will circle the first sentence in number 2. Okay? For number 3, it says I pat a pig. I pat an animal. Okay? Again, which one has more detail? Sentence number 1. Why? Because it told you what that person patted. It told you the kind of animal that person patted. So I pat a pig. Number 4, we do things. We pick plums. Okay? Number 4, the first sentence says that they did things, but what did they do exactly? We don't know. Second sentence says they pick plums, that they pick out a certain fruit from a tree. So the second sentence in number 4 is a sentence that has details. Number 5, I eat eggs. I get things. Okay? Number 5, I get eggs. I get things. Sentence number 1 tells you what they get. Okay? That they got eggs. But the other one, we don't know. If you say things, we don't know what things. There are many things, right? So sentence number 1 and number 5 would be the ones with detail. Okay? Okay. And that was our lesson for today. Details helps the or writers use details to help the reader understand more of, or imagine, or understand what the writer is trying to describe or tell about. Okay? I hope you understood the lesson, and I hope it was easy for you all.